guys will bear with me for a second. I gotta get my teleprompter shut here. But Mr. Bishop, other distinguished guests, cadre and cadets of the Norcross Blue Devil Battalion, family and friends, I say good evening.
Good evening.
So, it's been a long time coming, and as Lewis was saying there, I've been looking forward to every opportunity that will bring you back to Norcross. So, every time we come out, it's like a reunion. So, I've got these notes prepared, so you guys have probably know I'm going to be off script as usual. But really, I just want to take this opportunity and say that it's certainly good to be back. Especially on an Augusta occasion as such. And I just want to applaud you guys for all of your efforts. So, we were sitting at the table earlier and we were talking about how many balls we've actually attended this year. And this is actually number 7 now. I get a lot of enjoyment of coming out here, and I was actually talking to Mr. Bishop, and I look forward to every opportunity I have to share. So this is fun for me. I don't necessarily consider it work, even though it is work. I love my work. So I just wanted to get those things out of the way, but a couple of acknowledgments. I just want to say thanks for inviting me and my wife Brenda back to share this evening with you guys also. Special acknowledgement to my parent-in-laws. They're sitting at the table with us also. You're right, Lewis. They were crawling, they were fighting to get back out here as well. So, they've been with us for the last decade, supporting the LTC opportunities, and wanted to come back and share this opportunity with you guys again. So thank you guys for that. But I will tell you, as many times as I've had an opportunity to address a crowd, those same emotions, they come back every time. The first thing is humility. So I will tell you that I am humbled by the fact that you guys actually asked me to come back and that you wanted to actually hear me say something. So mission accomplished there. I'm actually humbled by that, and I want to tell you something. This is actually a first also. I keep telling you about some of the conversations that we've been having at the table over here. And my wife is probably my biggest mentor and one of my toughest critics at times. But everybody around the table says, hey, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? And what I'm actually getting to right now is, I actually said I'm going to adhere to most of the protocols that your typical guest speakers do. And so in saying that, I have to offer a couple disclaimers. As I mentioned to a couple folks, I didn't contact the unit, that asked, hey, what is it that you guys really want me to talk about? What do you want to hear? We've been at this game for a while, this leadership game. I said, wait a minute, I'm thinking to myself, inside Herb's head, I had a lot of those that were just constantly rambling. So I said, wait a minute, addressing a group of leaders, what else would there be to talk about other than leadership? So I checked that box off, didn't need to go there. And the next point where I deviated from tradition is that I've been with my partner in life for 36 years now. So this is the first time that I've actually addressed a crowd. She doesn't have any idea about what I'm going to say or how I'm even going to come about it, because normally she's my sounding board, and I share all those points with her. She says, no, that's corny, take that out. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. You guys know what I'm getting at? So I'm sort of flying solo tonight, so you have to let me know how I do along the way. I'll judge you by your body language and everything else. But I'll certainly have an AR along the way home, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. Okay? All right. Let me get my glasses on here for a second, but I alluded to the fact that I have an opportunity to, in this new position that I've had now for going on 2 years as the director of JROTC for Fulton County Schools. And so in doing that, whether it be for social engagements or professional development opportunities, I have my fair share of opportunities to hear guest speakers. And what I'm getting at there is I'm very sensitive to all of those proverbial disclaimers that we do, in which I promise you, I do get long-winded, but I won't overstay my welcome here at the podium. So, but in saying that, I've heard a number of different speeches, and and every time I go out, whether I'm the guest speaker or somebody says, "Well, hey, Carl, would you come up and say a couple words?" And I sort of tie it in, and you guys, sort of sitting there, you probably already understand that most of the times there's a common theme with every guest speaker. We start talking to the senior class, we start talking about success. I've got a couple things here I can rattle off. And when we say, in fact, there's not a shortage of materials or individuals, such as myself, that are willing to share with you those secrets to success, or what we think the secrets to success are. So then it becomes whether or not the individual that you're sharing with is willing to do their part. So here's some of the things that, just to give you an idea of some of the things that I sort of picked up at these collective meetings. You always hear, you should have positive thoughts. Does that ring a bell? Think positive things, think success as opposed to failure. So as you think, so will your actions be. So will your actions be. All right, so what about setting challenging goals? Anybody at LTC know anything about setting challenging goals? So we don't need to talk about that, right? Because you guys do it, Well, you guys don't sound too sure. See, now my wife is going to get on to me just because of that. But anyway, so we set challenging goals, and then we say, take action. Be proactive. Be aware of things that are going on around you, opportunities. And don't be afraid to step out and take advantage of those opportunities. Next, we'll always say, in an educational setting, never stop learning. You hear it all the time. And whether you hear me now, think about it later, and whether or not it resonates 10 years from now, you're going to continue to hear it. It's a lifelong journey, so continue to learn. Learn from your mistakes, and more importantly, don't be afraid to be different, and then act out on your convictions. So I only say that as words of encouragement. And I'm going to speed through the last portion of this because I'm sitting here with this middle timer going, and you guys are looking at me and I think I'm already over my time limit. But all of this stuff sounds familiar, and the angle that I actually want to take, and I'm going to round all of this stuff up here, is that what I want to do is approach it from the standpoint. We talk about what it takes to be successful. All those key factors, if you do these things that successful people have in common. Well, let's look at it from a different perspective and let's say, why is it that if this formula for success is readily available, why is it that there's not a greater, experience of people having success? You guys follow me? So yeah, First Sergeant Adams, I'm starting to preach down a little bit, so he's going to start taking the collection. We'll get through it. All right, so I think it was about 3 weeks ago. Brenda and I were actually at a military ball, and there was another guest speaker there. His name is Lieutenant Colonel Tony Perillo. He's the battalion commander for the Atlanta Recruiting Battalion. And he was the same guest speaker that was there the year previously. We were also in attendance there. And so I'm sharing all of this to sort of show you where his mindset was as a guest speaker, where most guest speakers' minds are. First thing you start wondering is, are they listening to me? Is my message getting across? And do they remember exactly what I said from last year? So he began to question the crowd about what he said the previous year. His 7-year-old son was sitting at the head table. He started popping off with responses, so it was very impressive. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all of his speech, he's standing there, and with a loud and thunderous, "Choppers, hit it!" So he yells like that, wakes everybody up in the room. So that was definitely a change. Now, see, I'm still sweating. And so I'm looking at the table over there at Colonel Cook and First Sergeant Adams to see whether their reaction was going to be the same. Now, what he was actually doing, his actual message surrounded what we refer to as pre-jump training. And jumpers hit it. It's nothing more than an expression that you use to work those jumpers through the pre-jump, what we refer to as 5 points of performance. And I won't tell you all those different things, but Colonel Cadet, he actually went through everything from ensuring you have a proper exit, a good tight body position, going to, counting, what is it, Colonel Cook? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, opening shot, boom. It is 20 years later, still fresh. You follow what I'm saying? So it's preparation. So it didn't matter where he was, how he said it, when he said it. I was ready to act. You follow me? So his whole speech was about preparation. He worked his way all the way down to the last two parts of the 5 points of performance. And he got to prepare to land. Let me back up for a second. Talked about keeping a sharp lookout on your descent. And he was making a corollary between the requirements and all the different physics and things that jumpers go through, overcoming all these obstacles and fears and things, to the same thing that you have to do when you're confronted with situations in life. So looking out for those obstacles, making sure that you avoid them, overcoming obstacles, and then preparing to land, and then making the right choice to ensure that you land on your feet and you're able to walk away from that particular jump. Make sense? All right, so that's good. That's almost my entire speech. So now the last part of what I want to do is take what he said and go back and answer that question that I asked you. Because the more I thought about it, I've heard a ton of leadership speeches, and I've read a number of leadership essays. Folks talk about goal setting and back and forth. So when you get back to it, you say, well, all things being equal, why is it that some people experience success and others don't? So, as we wind down here, if you guys will travel with me for a second, and you can close your eyes if you like, but I'm going to sort of practice my art of telling stories here for a second, okay? So you can envision yourself. Everybody envision yourself? 0200 in the morning. It's 2 o'clock for some of you. Very early. You're on an airplane. You're locked and cocked. That's military jargon for you're prepared, hold on. And you're on an airplane. It's chock filled with other paratroopers. The adrenaline's rushing, and they're just looking forward to the opportunity to prove their capabilities. Cool? Now, just with everything else in life, you can have a great plan, and everything doesn't always go as well as planned. And the part I'm getting at here is that, Colonel Cadet, he talked about, flying along there, 140, 150 miles an hour, doors coming opening, and you get that awakening effect of all that air rushing in. Colonel Cook, he's right there with me. Air rushing in, saucer eyes, and people are focused and ready to do something. They're going to have to leave that airplane. But there's one element that they have to overcome every single time, and that's fear. And so he talked about, the force of gravity and how, you can be a paratrooper. They open those doors, you get to the door, and you fall out. Gravity's going to take over. Cool? So I thought that was pretty cool. It was pretty good corollary. But my fellow paratroopers know that there's a small percentage of times where there are some jumpers that never get to experience that opening shot because they become paralyzed by fear. They make it to the door, going through all the jump commands, and you've got somebody locked there in the door with their fingernails embedded in the side of an aircraft. And you can't get them out. So, you've got that picture in your mind. And so it's no different. Just like Colonel D was saying, it's the same fear that will paralyze and cripple you and stop you from taking action. Everybody follow me? So, what I'm gonna leave you with is an acronym that I came up with that just sort of gave us a little thought. How can we reduce this fear? And it's 4 simple words. The F is for faith. So you gotta have unshakable faith. You know, believe in what you know. You believe in your training, believe in your knowledge, believe in your education, and believe in yourself. You gotta believe. That drives everything. What's the next letter? You guys not paying attention? Give me an E. All right, so we get the E. And that's probably one of the greatest things that I do every day, just like right now, I try and reach out. E is for empowerment. Now, you have a part to empower yourself, and that starts with knowledge. You know, sitting here with the educational setting, why do I have to come to school every day? We already talked about being a lifelong learner, but it's very important. So you can continue with that military analogy, and you can say it doesn't matter what contest or what struggle you're in life, you always want to make sure that you have the upper hand and the advantage, that you give yourself the greatest opportunity to succeed. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go into a contest, whether it's a boxing match with both my hands behind my back. So it starts with building that knowledge, extending that knowledge, and that will bring about that courage and confidence to take action, which is our third word. So A is for action. So you have to practice tenacity, personal integrity. Everybody knows what that is, right? There's a whole lot of folks that walk around and say, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But make your actions match your words. Hold yourself accountable. Set those tough goals and do what it is you say you're gonna do. Still preaching, right? So we're winding down. What's the last letter? R. So you can get this dance floor. All right, so R is resilience. So you gotta be resilient. And, you know, I won't be the first person to tell you that just because you experience one difficulty at some point in your life, that's the last time that you're gonna have difficult situations to overcome. But what's important is how you respond to those difficulties. And so if we do our part along the way, believing in ourselves, making that preparation, taking action, then we're gonna be resilient. You're gonna bounce back every time because you're gonna make the right choices and you're gonna land on your feet every time. Cool? So that was my extension of his corollary, because it doesn't matter what fear, what brings the fear on. And whether that be the fear of gravity accelerating the earth back to your feet, height, hostile situation, a math test, it doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the same equation. Cool? So, in ending here, only thing I'm gonna leave you with is, where are my seniors at again? You raise your hands real quick. I see Jessica, Marco, all of you guys back here. So I would just say, you know, I wish you guys Godspeed. Take heed to all of those lessons, the Colonel Cook, all of the other teachers that I shared along the way. Because I can stand here and talk all night about this stuff. It's important. You guys know it's important. So I would just say do yourself justice, Godspeed in all of your endeavors, and don't be a jump refusal. Cool? All right, thank you. Yeah.